Oh God, it's been so long since I've actually recorded anything that my pop filter actually has a ton of dust on it. Yeah, let me flick it. Yeah, that's a good start to this video, I think. Nintendo. Out of all of the companies in the entire world, they're certainly one of them. Responsible for putting Sora in Smash, and maybe some other stuff too, I think. Having almost $100 billion in net worth, Nintendo has provided years upon years of entertainment to millions of people. But as with every major company, there's other, more sinister stuff going on under the hood. But first, the day is November 12th, 2008. 2 days after making a YouTube account, an enigmatic developer by the name of JV posts a video titled Pokemon Uranium Beginning. The video shows a very rough look at what would eventually turn into the game we'll be discussing today. For 2008 standards, this was nothing new. Pokemon fan games were already very popular, though it's not like I would know. I was 6 at the time. Over the next year, JV would post updates about progress related to Uranium, showcasing caves, towns, and the work-in-progress title screen. 2012 arrives, and JV shows off a more familiar version of Pokemon Uranium, with the sprites and characters that would be used in the final release. That same year, JV puts out a call for assistance, asking anyone who's good with sprite work, music, and all the other facets that come with game development. All of that work clearly paid off, as 2 years later, Pokemon Uranium was given its first official trailer. This trailer was the first real spotlight cast on the game, showcasing its near final look. Online functionality, a cool-looking battle system with unique-looking Pokemon. Needless to say, JV had caught the eyes of a lot of people. Then, 2 more years later, on July 1st, 2016, the game is released. Almost 9 years after production had begun, everybody could now download and play Pokemon Uranium in its fully released state. Comparing the first look of the game to the final release is a night and day difference, and all credit must be given to the development team behind this game. Various news sites even began discussing the game, which... All of this new coverage on the game is attracting lots of attention, and Nintendo is not very well known for their treatment of fan games. After a little over a week, the inevitable happens. The Uranium development team receives a cease and desist order from Nintendo, and it, alongside another Metroid 2 remake, are pulled from the Game Awards category of Best Fan Creation. 9 years worth of development, 1.5 million downloads, and countless hours of laboring away is eradicated in a single letter from Nintendo's legal team. But not really. After all, this is the internet, and with over 1 million downloaded copies of the game, a few people were bound to pick up where JV and the dev team left off. I had the opportunity to talk with 2 of these individuals in particular.
My name is Cody. I'm Pokemon Uranium's community manager and one of the project leads.
My name is Bailey. I mostly work on the Discord servers, so I manage one of the related community servers for fan art, fan works, that sort of thing.
The original creators of Pokemon Uranium, Involuntary Twitch, and JV released Pokemon Uranium 1.0, which in its first day had been downloaded over 1 million times. This became quite a point of contention for Nintendo, and shortly after its release, Nintendo of America swiftly delivered a DMCA. Nintendo was giving us trouble for taking copyrighted material. Immediately, websites, download links, official handles for different social media pages were all taken down, and that was it. Pokemon Uranium was done and dusted. Kind of a happy accident happened is I had just become a moderator on the Pokemon Uranium official forum. That's how I got involved with the project. I worked on restoring the Pokemon Uranium forum. Unbeknownst to anybody else, there were 2 different people working separately, one on reverse engineering the online server so we could restore online play for the game, and another working on reverse engineering the game code itself so it could be worked on and improved. We all came together completely by accident. It was a stroke of dumb luck when we posted everything about what we were doing on the Uranium subreddit. and that's how the new Pokemon Uranium team came about.
Have you guys talked much with JV or Involuntary Twitch about your involvement in the game post-launch, post 1.0?
There was some back and forth originally when everything was still very kind of shaky. We kind of took over just because nobody else did, and nobody knew what was going on. So we had reached out to them, and we kind of had to tiptoe around the fact that we were doing this because we didn't want our actions in reviving the game to affect them legally, because they had absolutely no part in anything that we were doing. And it was very important that we stress that so that anything that we did not blow back on them. Over the years, we've touched base just to say, hey, this is what we're doing, or they'll pop in to say, hey, I saw what you guys are doing, keep up the good work. But they've moved on to different projects that are taking up most of their time, so they're on to greener pastures. But they do poke in every now and then just to kind of say, hey, how's it going, how's everything been. Our whole goal in doing this was when we kind of took over the project, our image, the very thing we wanted to do was keep Uranium the way they would want it. We didn't want to take over and leave our mark and kind of put everything that we wanted to do in it, because it had nothing to do with us. We wanted to keep the game true to their vision. Has been and will always be our focus moving forward. We have assembled a volunteer cast of especially fantastic, creative, and talented individuals that we've recruited to do custom work in artwork and sound and kind of everything that doesn't come down just to programming. I cannot credit these artists enough, just hours upon hours upon hours of work that they put forward to make sure that everything is perfect. So while I'm here, hey guys, if you're listening to this, know that we love you and we appreciate all the work you do, and you're fantastic. So thank you for everything you put forward.
General, overall opinions on the community you've kind of culminated or maybe kind of integrated from the original release of Uranium?
Well, I mean, first of all, I have to say that the community that we have cultivated for Pokemon Uranium is just awesome. I can guarantee I would not have stuck around as long as I have if it hadn't been for the community being as amazing as it is. It was the community and people in the community that came together after the takedown and were like, you know what, this game's too good to let it die. We're going to keep it going. We have a passionate fan base behind us, and we know we want to keep them happy. And that goes into the mystery gifts, that goes into the updates, everything that we're doing it for the fans, and we're doing it for the love of this game.
We'll get into the rest of that interview later, but if you'd like the full audio, fully uncut, link is in the description. After my interview with Cody and Bailey, I gleaned a lot about the inner workings of Pokemon Uranium post-launch, learning about the community, the team itself alongside their history and how they came together, and even got some secret insider knowledge that I might reveal later. It seems they definitely put a lot of effort to keep this game alive. Must be something real special, huh? Pokemon Uranium takes place in the Tandor region, with 166 new Pokemon and 190 total. Let's just jump directly into this journey multiple months in the making, and allow me to officially welcome you into the world of Uranium. We immediately are given an important choice. Do we turn the game to Nuzlocke mode? The only correct answer is yes. After all, I'm an elite gamer specimen. Nuzlocks, for those who don't know, are a specific set of rules to make Pokemon harder. You can only catch the first Pokemon on any route, and any Pokemon that faints is considered dead and can't be used. Between our gender options, Pokemon Uranium breaks new ground by allowing you to choose Trainer as your preferred gender. Finally, a gender for me! With a simple button press, Jay's adventure through Tandor begins. After a very normal day at the nuclear power plant where our mother works. It all goes horribly wrong and she's caught in the explosion. This is super sad as our mother is definitely dead and will 100% never be seen for the rest of the game. Why are you looking at me like that? Due to this, our dad starts to hate us or something, so Jay's adventure begins in our aunt's house. Once we meet Theo, our rival, we're given a series of questions that will determine what starter we get. I choose to answer them honestly, but nothing's stopping you from matching the color of your questions to your starter if you want to be a pussy, I guess. Our starter is Raptorch, the fire dinosaur. Since this is a Nuzlocke and I have to name every Pokemon, I welcomed Ken to the party eagerly. Theo gets his starter and it's...
Oh, shit! Alright!
Theo does the iconic rival challenge, but since his Raptorch is sick or something, we win in one move. That's why it's green, right? We beat Theo so badly that he goes running home to his dad, and after some encouragement, Theo's dad gives us a cell phone and tells us to get out of his house. Professor Bambo gives us Pokeballs, yada yada. That's not what matters here. What matters is our first ever wild Pokemon battle. I choose to name this little guy Simon, of course very appropriately named after the America's Got Talent judge of the same name. Afterwards, we catch a Cubug and make our way to Kevlar Town. There, we fight this guy over and over until everyone in our party is leveled up, catch an Outen that we name Hourglass for... I honestly forgot. Passage Cave, just north of town, gives us our next party member. 5 gold coins to whoever gets this reference. And of course, our first ever death is the party member we just got, so never mind. Blur that name. Once we make it to Nautich City, I give our death box an appropriate name, steal a key to the gym leader's house, and walk in on her sleeping. Now this is Pokemon. Plus, she apparently keeps spoiled milk in her fridge. My kind of lady. The gym battle with the normal type gym leader Maria goes over very well, despite a bit of a scary crit. So does the fight with Theo directly after. Although, as we progress to the next town, Simon bites the bullet. This leaves us in an interesting predicament for the Nuzlocke challenge. The next gym has rock, ground, and poison types, all of which I have no real answers to. Due to the rules of the Nuzlocke, I have no more than these 4 Pokemon to take on the gym with, all of which have weaknesses to pretty much everything in there. I even tried fishing in the town lake for a water type, but there's no Pokemon that can spawn there. Our solution comes in the form of a move, Giga Drain. Thankfully, on the route right before this town, not only do we find Giga Drain, but we also have our newly evolved Cubblefly that can learn it. When she hits level 15, she also gains Sleep Powder. In the gym, Small sweeps every member of Davern's team except for his final Pokemon, a Topharang. Ken steps up, and in an epic Clash of the Titans battle that lasted more than 15 turns, single-handedly defeated the Great Beast. Afterwards, our objective is to make our way through Comet Cave with Theo. This 2-headed ground snake is no match for my Butterfly, and we catch a 6th member of the team. I name it Feathers, after Feathers McGraw, the most notable antagonistic force from all of the Wallace and Gromit series. You think they'd ever make a game inside Tandor? Well, gee whiz, kid, I sure hope so. Route 6 has us battling a Pokemon named Garlickid. Our reward for defeating this Pokemon trainer is the XP share, which we immediately throw on Feathers until he evolves. Hourglass couldn't put in the effort needed to knock out this spawnery, so sadly she perished. In that same battle, we lose Feathers to a crit bubble, so now we're back down to 4. Route 6 allows us to catch a Lunapup, so our fighting coverage is still there. In addition, we also find this. And you're damn right I made Paige watch me catch a replacement. With the addition of Jolene to our team, this changes from a Nuzlocke to a Protect the President playthrough, as if I let a shiny Pokemon die, I will never forgive myself. Oh yeah, her name is Jolene, because the only thing that helped me cope with the loss of my beloved Pokemon during this playthrough was JoJo Part 6. Go watch it, it's on Netflix. Wait, no, don't leave. On the way to Beale Beach City, home of the next gym, and some very good items, Jolene survives 2 crits in a row while not being at full health, and then immediately evolves once the battle is over. Once we arrive on this new beach route filled with useless Pokemon, I decide to make my encounter something a bit more important. So I fish up a Magikarp, because we could really use a water type. And then I accidentally kill it. I turn off the game. Once I stop crying, I turn the game back on and go fight Theo. I basically just need to talk long enough for the footage on screen to catch up, because he's as much of a pushover as ever. Once we arrive back in Beale Beach, I correct my earlier mistake, immediately make another and lose our backup plan, then gently set Pogfish in our party. Considering 4 out of our 6 party members are weak to water with the water-type gym coming up, there's a lot that we need to do first. Before anything else, I grab an egg from this random lady in a house and hatch it. It's time for Fun Facts with Josh. Did you know that Flame Body cuts the amount of time needed to hatch an egg in half? And that's it for Fun Facts with Josh. What was in that egg, you ask? A Nupin.
Hey, good morning, Kanye.
Not only does it have a great typing of Grass Electric, it also has double speed in the sun and a special attack raising nature. There's potential here for a very solid endgame Pokemon already. Plus, since this is an actually good Pokemon game, if if you talk to the NPC that gave you the egg, she'll give you the TM for Shockwave as well. This right here is why I play Nuzlocke mode. The game will give you answers to upcoming issues if you know where to look. I cannot praise this kind of game design enough. Little things like this separate Uranium from other ROM hacks and even official games. Instead of going directly to the next gym, our father asks us to go to a nuclear power plant near the city. There, we encounter our first nuclear-type Pokemon. Similar to Shadow Pokemon and Gale of Darkness, nuclear types are super effective against every other type, but the inverse also applies. A double-edged sword of a type. This means any Pokemon with a nuclear type move we have to be extremely wary of, as all of our party is dual type. Any Pokemon with the ability to hit our entire party with 4 times weaknesses is super deadly. We get the option to explore the new power plant, but unlike the rest of you, I know what's inside. So I take the time to get everyone leveled up and head into the plant with the full expectation that I'm walking out with one or more of these Pokemon dead. The power plant itself isn't difficult, but after getting a key and executing a restoration project further inside, we're faced with the most difficult Mon we've seen so far. A level 30 nuclear type boss Tropent. This thing is a monster, and so much higher level than anything in my party. Small gave her life to set up a sunny day, to which Jolene came in and two-shot the mighty foe. Kanye did what Kanye does, and single-handedly swept through the entire water gym, leader included. Someone pulls a gamer move on our way out of the city and blows up the power plant again. And, in the hour where it hurts the most, a nuclear Tancoon one-shots Ken. Our starter, the one who's been with us for the entire game. Sensing he needs to step up to the plate, Small Ant evolves into a Big Ant. After a copyright music-filled grinding session, we defeat this nuclear Gyarados and make our way onto this ferry. On said ferry is another fight with Theo. Since Ken died, Jolene stepped up and one-shot his starter instead. You gotta keep the streak alive. Docking at Route 8 allows us to catch an Ekans. After just one level, it evolves into Arbok. Look at those stats. While it's nice to have, there's another Pokemon on Route 8 that we could get that might be even better. In the bottom right corner of the route is this house, and if you talk to the lady inside at nighttime, you enter a special minigame with a boss at the end. Defeating this boss grants us the Pokemon S51, a dual psychic steel type. I don't need to tell you that having a Pokemon with the same typing as Metagross is a very valuable thing to have in a Nuzlocke. The only thing that's better than that typing is you joining my Discord server. Wow, what a segue. If you want early access to videos like this, or you just want to tell me that I'm an awful person for having over 1,000 hours in Destiny 2, link is in the description. Inside the next gym, we meet, nobody important. The gym leader himself uses steel types, but considering how we have half our party able to hit them super effectively, it should be a cakewalk. At least in theory. The gym leader's final Pokemon is Tracton, which has a speed boost as its ability, a dragon steel type combo, and shift gear to sharply raise attack. Just to be clear, this thing has the same typing as this thing, but a better ability. Discus puts in a monumentous amount of effort in his first real battle and decimates the tractor. Instead of a fight with Theo after the gym, the local nuclear reactor explodes instead, and it's up to me, the 13-year-old, to put a stop to it with my little alien monster. But before that, we head to Route 9 to catch another fucking fire type and pick up the lucky egg to make my life a little bit easier. Once we make our way towards the radiation zone, we discover something new about nuclear Pokemon. Steel resists their attacks, meaning if we have Discus out front, he'll be taking neutral damage instead of super effective or doubly super effective. After using this to our advantage, we make our way to Route 10 and into the Anthell. Inside of the Anthell, we find some bug catchers that are a little more bug than catcher if you catch my drift. We also find the gym leader about to be eaten by this big-ass legendary bug monster. This thing has the potential to give us some trouble, but I wouldn't know cause Jolene evolved and killed it in 2 hits. The Fire-type gym is a cakewalk, as we have one of the best Pokemon in the game on our side. We have a Page versus Page battle, but since mine's shiny, I win. Is it Page? Is it Page?
Page.
We have a Page versus Page battle, but since mine is shiny, I win, and that's another badge in the books. We fight Theo just outside of town to get Surf, and then fight some skiing ninjas on the water. We're still playing Pokemon? Eventually making our way to the ninja boss, which our newly evolved form of Kanye takes out with ease. Not without a cost, however, as Discus dies on the very next route to a crit psychic future sight combo. However, on this route, we look out on the 5% encounter chance and find an Eevee. An Eevee, I hear you say. How can that replace the best defensive typing in the game? Well, for those who don't know, if you level Eevee up with a nuclear type Pokemon in your party, this happens. Nucleon at first glance seems like any other nuclear type we've seen so far. The only difference is the ability. All normal type moves become nuclear plus an extra boost. Let me break down some numbers for you. Oh, that's right, it's nerdy Pokemon number time, baby. Stab, or same type attack bonus, gives you a 1.5x modifier to your damage, and this increases to 3x if the move is also super effective. If the opposing Pokemon has 2 types, that means we're hitting for 4.5x regular damage. Atomize also adds an extra 1.3x modifier for any of our moves, bringing us up to 5.8x. Add a Life Orb on top of that for an extra 30% of the cost of some health per turn. And what was that one normal type move called again? Oh yeah, Hyper Beam! All of this is coming off of a base speed stat of 90, which is a very impressive one to have. Of course, I found out that this NPC here just straight up gives you an EV, and it's got a better nature than the one I have now, so at least we got a backup. Once we're inside the gym, Small Ant dies to himself, don't ask me about it. We put Arbok back in our party and go train him up some. Gamer absolutely tears through every single Pokemon in the next gym. Who would have thought having a Pokemon that can do this would be extremely beneficial? The only downside is we have to use Rat Tail as a sacrificial offering to allow Gamer to hit with a quick attack. And it didn't even kill, but thankfully he hangs on with just 5 HP, securing badge number 6. After that gym, Theo challenges us to a fight. This is one of the few battles in the game that you can do infinitely, so we basically use him as a stepping stone to catapult our entire party up a few levels. Well, until Miracle gets crit moonblasted. Nice. The Labyrinth gives us a Life Orb, which immediately gets thrown on Gamer for reasons explained earlier, and we also buy the TM for Hyper Beam for the really big foes. This fossil Pokemon failed to do this much health to a Glavenug because this game is awful. Arriving at the next town, we get kidnapped, have our Pokemon stolen, and then prison break using Garlikid. Oh hey, remember him? Once we get our stuff back, Garlikid joins our party permanently. Grass Fighting is a very interesting combo, and level 50 is definitely nothing to sneeze at either. Our team is now evenly split between 3 special attackers and 3 physical attackers, with quite a large range of type coverage. If we stay on level for the rest of the game, we realistically shouldn't have any trouble. Of course, immediately after I say that, the next route has a massive difficulty spike, so now I'm under-leveled again. Cool. Now might also be a good time to mention that I don't really believe in going back to the Pokemon Center every 5 seconds to heal, so a good majority of my money goes towards buying a ton of healing items, because it technically speeds up video making, and that's good enough for me. Gamer's first ever Hyper Beam misses, and he almost dies for it multiple times. Hey, if you at all like what I do here, it would help me out immensely if you could hit that subscribe button. Every month, YouTube sends me this email that tells me I have gotten 0 subscribers for the month. So, can we get this to a double-digit number? Anyways, back to the video. After making it to a very familiar town...
So, the joke of the day comes from what you'd expect. Want to hear a joke? I mean, sure. Why not?
God, even when I was 14, I was hilarious. A quick look at my team shows that we're absolutely not ready to be taking on level 50 plus Mons in this gym. It's time to grind, baby. Okay guys, I did a little mining off screen. Mega Evolution is only a few more battles away, and we're lucky enough to have someone in our party that can actually do it. Also, you should definitely ask why her name is Candace in the comments. Make sure you read every single reply out loud to your parents. In the gym, we have to pass 5 trials and eventually face the gym leader. Gamer destroys the leader in 3 moves, we get a Gyarados Mega Stone, and even though Theo has a very shiny and very sharp new Mega at his disposal, we one-shot it all the same. Although to add a little bit of danger to the mix, Theo's got his own Nucleon now. Thankfully, that means I'll always know how fast it actually is, and can one-shot it too. 7 gyms down, 1 more to go. On our way to the next city, we dive and break some corals to get heart scales, reteach some moves, find another shiny, so that was quite nice, level up a bit more, and buy some competitive level items like Focus Sash and Choice Specs to take on the final gym. Of course, even though there are 2 gym leaders, it's not a double battle. Instead, we have to take them on one by one. The first battle goes down smoothly, but on the second battle, we lose Garlikid to a Mega Arbok. After the very stressful second gym fight is over, we acquire our 8th badge. In theory, enough to go take on the championship, but first we have to head to Nuclear Plant Omicron to finally deal with the threat of nuclear types. And by deal with the threat, I mean grind to an absurd level again. There's one specific trainer in the near future that I'm very nervous to fight, so I want to be as high of a level as I can get away with. And here comes our villain now, Apocalypse Curie. They punch our dad, nearly kill Cameron, and then hightail it like a little baby. Bambo apologizes for not giving us the HM for Fly earlier and corrects that mistake. Thea's dad reveals that his real name is Cameron Stormbringer, like a Wizard 101 character. Mr. Lightning Fingers is actually an agent of Interpol, tracking Curie, as Curie tries to hop from power plant to power plant in order to power up Urain, an artificial Pokemon. Curie's next location is the Venoval power plant, so our dad promotes us to a ranger and asks us to lead the mission. We get equipped with a prototype hazard suit and arrive in the nuclear fallout zone. Inside, the game constantly throws high-level nuclear-type double battles our way. Thankfully, Pogfish and Gamer are best friends and don't even get touched. We make our way to this tree grove and find a hazmat suit Pokemon that's curing all the radiation. Wow, how convenient. Once we arrive at the power plant, Urane gives us a warm welcome by kidnapping Theo and knocking us deep within the plant. Our hazard suit keeps us alive as we begin exploring the ruined plant.
Stealth is a vital part of Metal Gear Online.
I looked at Curie's team ahead of time and made some decisions. And it's pop quiz time, baby! Kanye is going to be the best choice for most of, if not all of this fight, despite the fact that he's 10 levels lower than Curie's ace. But which item will almost guarantee us the victory? Is it A, Life Orb, B, Choice Specs, or C, Focus Sash? If you answered Life Orb, congratulations! On killing Kanye, the music industry will never be the same, and my roommate hates you. While each item has their own pros and cons, Focus Sash allows us to survive any hit Curie's own Nucleon can throw our way, and lets us set up Sunny Day, doubling our speed and allowing us to fire off solar beams from the highest special attack stat on the team. Of course, this is all just in theory, so let me break down how the fight actually went. As expected, Nucleon breaks my Focus Sash with Hyper Voice, but I get a Sunny Day set up and one-shot with Solar Beam. Next up is Arbok, so I opt to be safe and overheat with Jolene. And even though Kanye is at 1 HP, I'm very confident that he can one-shot the Xeno Queen, which he does. Swap back to Jolene to overheat this Mega Barriette for a one-shot, and now the scariest Pokemon Urane is about to come out. Out of all of my team, Pogfish has the highest speed stat, so I send her out. Urane chooses to go for Overheat of all moves, and it doesn't even hit, so one dive ends off the hardest battle in the game, and not a single Mon was lost. After that heart-pumping battle, the end of the game is in sight. We just gotta make it through Victory Road now. While I was there... Dude, are you fucking kidding me? Victory Road isn't too tough considering our team is pretty perfect at this point, so we make it all the way to the championship site rather easily. Now, this version of the Pokemon League is different from the main series. Instead of an Elite Four, it's a single elimination 32-person tournament. Some of the trainers we can find range from people we've never seen, NPCs from previous routes and areas of the game, and even gym leaders. In addition to that, we're also not allowed to use any items in battle, so what we've got on hand is all we can use. After leveling up to an appropriate level, I buy a couple more Focus Sashes, delete all my HMs, and do one last walk through Victory Road. The end of the game is in sight. Our final team is as follows. Jolene, knowing Overheat, Flamethrower, Air Slash, and Tailwind, holding the choice specs. Gamer, knowing Hyper Voice, Hyper Beam, Swift, and Protect, holding a Focus Sash. Kanye, knowing Thunderbolt, Solar Beam, Synthesis, and Sunny Day, holding a Life Orb. Candace, knowing Earthquake, Megahorn, Superpower, and Stone Edge, holding a Choice Band. Look at that attack stat. Pogfish, knowing Aquatail, Dragon Dance, Ice Fang, and Dive, holding a Gyarados. Lastly, we have Sturdy, knowing Cross Chop, Dynamic Punch, Foul Play, and Shadow Claw, holding a Flame Orb for his Guts ability. For the first battle, I accidentally left animations off and the game wouldn't let me go back and change it, so I'll breeze through it for you. One shot, two shot, one shot, one shot. I'm very prepared for these fights in case you can't tell. Round 2 is Sir Goldcorn. His first Pokemon, Tanskewer, goes down in one Cross Chop. Whimsicott to an Overheat, Ampharos to Earthquake, Haraloon goes down in one Aquatail, but Barriette almost kills Pogfish by using her own attack against her. But after just barely hanging on, she cleans up and secures us round 2. Round 3 is Rosalind, and Gamer is ready to tear her team apart for the second time this playthrough. Aromatisse, unfortunately, is not a one-shot with Hyper Voice, and that means that Focus Sash won't protect us anymore. So Gamer gets to sit the rest of this fight out as we can't get him back to full health without items. Gargriff is next, so we have Kanye set up a Sunny Day and blast him with Solar Beam. Overheat from Jolene takes care of me as medic, the Winotinger kills itself with Final Gambit, Cross Chop the Duplicat, and despite the theatrics of Megadrom Sama, it still goes down in one hit to a super effective, guts boosted, critical Shadow Claw. Round 4 is Ninja Boss Hokage. He's upset at us for taking over his ninja clan and is ready to get revenge. So I one-shot literally every single one of his Pokemon for even daring to challenge me. Easiest round by far. One last fight against Theo for all the marbles. Only not quite. Before the battle begins, a nuclear version of the legendary Pokemon Actan challenges us to a battle, and it's level fucking 80? I put a Focus Sash on Sturdy, and then he misses with 3 dynamic punches in a row, and dies. Thankfully, Actan joins our party instead once we defeat it with Jolene. Why does it need to join our party? Because Curie is back with an even stronger form of Urain. The final fight has finally arrived, as Gamma Urain is ready to tango. We lead with Actan, and oh my god, I've been recording the script for like half an hour, I'm dying. We lead with Actan and immediately swap to Pogfish. See, when making this game, JV specifically set out to troll you. Here's a level 80 Steel-type Pokemon that will immediately die to Urain's Overheat. I've played this before, I'm too many steps ahead, and... oh, Overheat missed. So his special attack didn't get lowered. Pogfish goes down to an Atomic Punch, so we do the same thing but swap to Jolene instead. Since Overheat actually hits, Urain's special attack lowers significantly. We swap back to Actan, who misses literally every single attack, and then dies. Cool. Sensing he needs to step up to the plate, Kanye comes in and 2-shots Urain before succumbing to Life Orb damage. Against all odds, we've made it out alive. Hurting, but alive. Curie's face mask gets removed to reveal that it's actually our mom, who's been in stasis for 10 years until we executed the restoration process at the Beale Beach power plant. Urain tells us about how it never wanted to hurt anybody, even though it just killed 3 of my team members, but whatever, I'm not salty. After Urain joins our team in its alpha form, Theo forfeits the championship title to us, and we finally completed Pokemon Uranium. As a special send-off before I review the game, I wanted to give the remaining Pokemon in my party a nice ending. So I put Gamer, Jolene, Candace, Pineapple the shiny Kokran, and Sans the shiny Terralard up for a Wonder Trade. Whoever ends up receiving these Pokemon, I hope they serve you well. Now, let me get something out of the way now. This game isn't perfect, of course not. And many of my criticisms that I may have may be totally fruitless, as the original dev team isn't around and I don't know the specifics of what the new team can and cannot change. And don't get me wrong, this entire video has basically just been an excuse for me to talk about one of my favorite Pokemon games. So take what I say with a grain of salt, and keep in mind that this is still by far one of the best Pokemon games you can play today, and for free no less. One of the biggest critiques I can give is the difficulty. If I hadn't played through this game before and decided to do a Nuzlocke on my first time through, I probably would have lost multiple times over. The best way I can describe the absurd difficulty this game has is that you can find level 26 Devimp in Victory Road, yet less than 8 fights away is Urain at level 85. Even if you fight every trainer, you will be underleveled for a good portion of the game. Alongside that are the expected bugs that come with a fan game like this, like audio glitches, music cutting out, and random miscellaneous things across the game, which can absolutely be forgiven considering the size of the game. However, I do wish the animations were a bit better. Some moves like Stone Edge still have the placeholder move animation, and it's one of the things that definitely will turn people away from the game. I make fun of main series Pokemon for their animations, so I gotta be fair here. Although considering that this entire game was made on RPG Maker, I think I'm a lot more likely to let this slide personally. Besides that, I really don't think I can fault this game for much else. The fake Pokemon are genuinely well designed and fit in. The story is considerably better than the other games. The dialogue is fine, and I can't fathom the level of respect the community must have for this game to still be played 6 years later. Credit must also be given to M- for their amazing work on the soundtrack. And now, I will leave you with a little bit of insight as to what's next for Pokemon Uranium, courtesy of Cody and Bailey of the new Uranium dev team.
So obviously I can't talk too much in detail about what the post game is going to involve, because spoilers, and we want to like save the surprises and all for the fans. I guess finished product is going to look like a completed post game. At the time that Twitch and JV got the cease and desist order, they had planned on adding post game in. I think the original plan was to put it as kind of like a Delta episode. Once you get to the end of the game, there are some there are some threads that are still left kind of dangling. There's still a lot, and then of course we've got a few legendaries that have not been released yet that are also going to have storylines behind them. They were already planned to be in the game. They were planned to be in with everything else that they were planning to do before Nintendo came along and be like, no, you can't do that anymore. So our idea of a finished product is going to be able to see those plot points come to their conclusion and have like a finished post game.
Thank you all very much for watching, and as always, have yourselves a damn good one.